Picture this, a quiet river at dusk. The sun is setting and the water is just glowing. And in a small boat, there's a young woman, surrounded by this incredible tapestry, really the work of her entire life. This is the Lady of Shalott. And this is the last journey she will ever take.
So you have to ask, who is she? And why is she on this final, fateful trip down the river to Camelot? Well, to really get this painting, you first have to understand her story.
All right, so our first part is the curse of the mirror. Because you see, to understand her journey, we first have to understand her prison. And her story, it all begins with this mysterious and frankly cruel curse.
So, imagine an island, and on that island is a tall, lonely tower. This is where she lives, completely cut off from the world. Seriously, no one knows her name, no one has ever even seen her face. Her entire purpose, her one and only job, is to weave everything she sees into a magnificent tapestry. But here's the catch. There's this one single, brutal rule that governs her whole life. She is absolutely forbidden from ever looking directly out her window at the real world. Her only connection to life, her only view, is through the reflection she sees in a huge mirror.
And this really breaks it down, doesn't it? Her world is literally made of shadows on glass. It's a secondhand life she weaves from reflections. But the real world? Oh, the real world outside is buzzing with villagers and knights and life. A world she can see and record, but never, ever touch. Okay, on to our second part. A world breaks in. Because, a static, filtered world like that can't last forever. Something has to give. A catalyst is about to ride right into her mirror and into her life.
And then it happens. Suddenly, this brilliant flash of light just fills her mirror. It's Sir Lancelot, the most famous, most dazzling knight in all of Camelot. She sees him singing. She sees the sunlight glinting off his shield. And he's basically the living embodiment of everything she's ever been denied. And in that one instant, a whole lifetime of loneliness, of curiosity, of just wanting more. It all just boils over. She can't stop herself. In this one act of pure human rebellion, she breaks the only rule she's ever known. She turns away from the mirror, and she looks directly out the window.
The consequence is immediate. It is devastating. Just as the poem says, the mirror cracks from side to side. Her loom breaks, the tapestry unravels, and she knows, without a doubt, the curse has come for her. Her fate is sealed.
So now, with that whole tragic backstory in mind, we can go back to the painting itself. This is our third section, decoding a masterpiece. We now have the key to unlock all the hidden meanings the artist packed into this one image. And think about this for a second. This is the power of art, right? The painter, John William Waterhouse, could have shown us any part of her story. He could have painted her weaving alone, or the moment she saw Lancelot. But no, in 1888, he chose this exact moment. The instant she lets go, caught right between her active defiance and her quiet acceptance of what it's going to cost her.
And Waterhouse just fills the scene with symbols that tell her whole story. I mean, look closer. You see those 3 candles on the boat? 2 are still burning, but 1 has just been blown out. Her life is literally fading before our eyes. Her tapestry, her life's work, is slipping right into the water, and the autumn leaves all around her, well, that's the end of her season.
Moving on to section 4, a rebellion in oil paint. Because when you really look at this painting, you start to see it's not just a beautiful, sad picture. It's so much more. It's a powerful statement, a quiet, heartbreaking rebellion, captured forever. And even in her final moments, she does these 2 incredibly powerful things. First, she writes her name, the Lady of Shalott, right on the bow of the boat. She is claiming her identity, making sure the world knows who she was. And then, as she floats down to Camelot, she sings one last, haunting song. It really all comes down to this, doesn't it? She represents that timeless human struggle, being trapped between the life you're supposed to live and the life you truly desire. And in the end, she chooses one brief, authentic moment of freedom, knowing it would cost her absolutely everything. Which brings us to our final part, freedom and fate. Because this masterpiece leaves us with a really profound question. It's a question about what freedom really is, and, what price we're willing to pay for it. So, what do you think? Was her end just a tragedy, a punishment for breaking a rule? Or was it a triumph? The story of someone who chose one single real moment of freedom over an entire lifetime of shadows. Was she a victim of fate, or was she the hero of her own story? That's the question Waterhouse leaves us to ponder, frozen forever on that river at dusk.